Hey everyone, this is Travis with Andy Up Life. We're snowboarding right now, and I know we're not playing poker, but we're playing at the Super Bowl Kenosha Poker Open, which in the tournament you'll see some hands on. I'm gonna hit a rail right now, and we have a lot of fun. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna get some air right now, and we'll see how that goes. Right now. There we go. We're gonna do another one. We're playing a poker tournament, and we have some fun. But today is the Super Bowl, which means one thing in Kenosha. There's a local annual Super Bowl poker tournament going on right now at Fireside Restaurant in Kenosha, Wisconsin. In the very first hand, it's level 1, where blinds are 25-25. We're in the big blind with King Queen of Spades. There are 2 limpers, and I raise it to 150 and get 1 caller from the small blind. The flop comes out 10, Queen, 7, and checks to me, where I bet 200 and get called. The turn is a 7 and checks to me again. I bet 500, the opponent folds, and we take down our first pot. Always nice to get the first one out of the way. Still in level 1, everyone's been folding a lot in this first orbit. I get ace-5 of hearts and min-raise to 100 and get 1 caller in the big blind. The flop comes out 2, 7, king with 1 heart, checks to me, and I'm going to c-bet for 100 and get a call. The turn is a 4 of hearts and it checks to me. I continue stringing along and bet 125 and get called again. The river is the 6 of diamonds, right color, wrong suit. He checks quickly and seems pretty weak in general. I decide to bump it up to 600 and he folds. Here we're at level 3 where the blinds are 50-100, the hijack raises to 250, I'm in the cutoff with 8-7 of diamonds, and call, and we go 2 ways to the flop, which comes out 4, king, 4 with 2 diamonds. It quickly goes check, check. The turn is the queen of clubs, and again goes check, check. The river completes our flush with a 10 of diamonds, he checks again and I bet 550, he folds right away and we take down another pot. The very next hand, we get King Jack offsuit in the hijack and open for 250 and get 1 caller. The board is ace high and we try to bet for 2 streets but then get raised on the turn and have to let it go. Now we're at level 4 where the blinds are 75-150, there's 1 consistent limper and we raise to 550 in the cutoff with Queen Jack offsuit. Both of the blinds decide to come in and the limper folds. The flop comes out 2-7-6 rainbow, the small blind decides to, and then the big blind decides to. I bet 600, the small blind decides to, and the big blind decides to, and we take it down. Now we're at level 6 where the blinds are at 125-250. I'm in the low jack with King 7 of clubs and raise to 1000. The big blind completes and we go 2 ways to the flop, which comes out ace 10-5 with 2 clubs. He leads out for 3000. I'm assuming he's got an ace, but unsure why he's leading out. I'll call and see what develops. The turn is a brick and he checks and I check back. The river is a 4 of clubs and completes my flush. He bets 3000 and I raise it up to 7000. He thinks about it for a second and folds, in which later he told me he had 2 pair. We scoop up a big pot and are chipping up again. This hand, it's level 7 and blinds are at 250-500. Under the gun, who is the same player we just took a big pot from, he raises to 1500. It folds to me with a beautiful Jack 10 of hearts and I call. The button also calls and we go 3 ways to the flop, although unfortunately here you can see the dealer killed his hand in the muck, so we're going 2 ways instead.
Killed my hand. I just killed my hand. He threw cards at me and I put them on top of me.
The flop is pretty nice, 8-9-2 rainbow. The under the gun gives up the betting lead and checks. Since I have 2 overs and an open-ended straight draw, I'm going to bet here but decide to down bet to 1200 and he calls. The turn is the queen of clubs and we hit our straight. Even better, he leads into us for 2000. Now, should we raise or call here? I elect to call as I just raised him last hand and he quickly folded. I also feel he's not going to slow down here and try to bet the river, and I really want to keep all of his bluffs in. The river is a blank and indeed he leads out for 2500. I take a few seconds to think about it as if I'm in a tough spot, but elect to raise to 7000. He thinks for a bit and this time he decides on a call. I show him the bad news and we scoop up another nice pot right before dinner break. So this is the last hand before dinner break actually. We have 2 red kings where the blinds are still at 250, 500. I raise to 1250 and just take it down. So right now we're doing pretty well here, sitting at 41,125 chips. There are 49 total entries, we're at level 8 and there are about 23 people left. The unfortunate thing is that I was running out of battery, so I stopped filming and had my phone plugged to charge, but basically it all went downhill from here. First break just started and we started off with 25,000 chips and we're at about 40,000 right now, so going pretty strong and we'll just see how things keep going. So gonna get some food and then keep it going. Blinds are at 500, 1,000. I have 40 big blinds, ace king suited, and raised to 3,000. The big blind calls and he's got about 15,000 left in his stack, and we go 2 ways to the flop, which is queen 8-3 with 2 clubs. He checks, I see bet for 3,000 and he goes all in. Okay, well, I call and he flips over queen 8 and the turn and river break out. He says that queen 8 is one of his favorite hands and never loses. We take a hit and are at 22,000, just like that. Right after that, I pick up pocket 6s and low jack and raise to 3,000. The player on the cutoff goes all in for 15,000 and the small blind goes all in for 18,000. Okay. I decide to call and we all flip over our cards, but luckily the cutoff has ace 8 offsuit and the small blind has ace 5 of diamonds. Okay, wow. We are actually doing pretty darn good here. Let me also mention there are 16 players left, 12 make the money, with a min payout being 600 and first place going for around $3,000. I could knock out 2 people and have a healthy chip stack going through the bubble. And like I said, for a 3-way all-in, I'm doing pretty darn good here. 2 aces are accounted for already, and there's only 1 other overcard, which is an 8 that I have to fade. But of course, the 8 gets there on the flop, and the turn and river break out, and we lose. I only have about 4,000 left and go all in next hand with queen 10 and lose, so that is the end to our tournament. We finish in 15th place. Well, you guys, we busted it out. 15th place, 12 got the money, and yeah, oh well, we'll get them next time. The next vlog is going to be a recap from 2021 World Series of Poker, where we buy into a deep stack tourney, cash in a World Series daily tournament, go on a small heater in cash games, and bink on a Caesars daily tourney. Be on the lookout for that one. Until then, peace.